Alright, this is from Team Duel League. Next up on the list is Ancient Gears. So same thing, I'm gonna do a deck profile, mainly for reference. So if I want to go back to this build, uh, I'm kind of following like the little hype with the Hulk Fibrax kind of type of build. But even if Hulk Fibrax get banned or so, or that kind of game style or play style goes away, I would still play the main deck version of this because it still helps out to bring out the Ancient Gear Ballista, which is the Link Monster version of this deck. So yeah, so we have Dr. Crowler here to represent the Ancient Gears. So let's go ahead and go into the deck profile. So double reactor. Reactor is really great. It pops spell and trap when it attacks. Pretty much like pops your own gear town or your fortress. Yeah. So really great card, and it's a level 9. So if you don't end up using the Ancient Gear Fortress, you're still allowed to go into your extra deck with other than like the Ancient Gear part of it. So you can make Calamities, which is one of the best Exceed monsters there is. On top of that, we have two Ancient Gear Wyvern. It's your searches your Ancient Gear spells and trap. It searches most of the time. You do search this guy, Ancient Gear Box, because Ancient Gear Box searches you that one good card that extends your play. So I'm gonna show you that in a little bit. But Ancient Gear Box is a toolbox. It gives you that extension. It's an Ancient Gear monster as well, so you can use it for Overload Fusion to get into that bigger guy. So it does have like benefits, even though it does break you a little bit. So yeah, and then triple Ancient Gear Hound, because it does get you into that howitzer, which is you normal summon this guy, you burn for 600, and then you make howitzer, it burns for 1,000, so that's 1,600. And if howitzer gets destroyed by battle, you can summon any of the Ancient Gear monster, which preferably reactor. So yeah. For the non-Ancient Gear monster, we play Deskbot003. So Ancient Gearbox can search Deskbot003, which Deskbot003 can extend your plays a whole lot more. And then what makes him great is summoning Deskbot001. So yeah, like I said, as of right now, this can also abuse the Haka Fibrax combos. So if it's available, why not abuse it? So yeah. And then we also have this an additional extender. We have BS Blaster Cannon Core. So it's kind of like a pseudo Cyber Dragon version, but what makes him different is that if your opponent controls more monster than you do, you can special summon him. He can be destroyed by battle as long as you have 3 counters. Every time it battles, it loses a counter, but most of the time you just kind of use him as a an extender, because it is an earth machine, and it is also a level 9, so you can use it for calamities. So it's one of like the best extender I found to use in this deck. Next up is Magical Hound. Magical Hound can be searched by Ancient Gear Box. It gets rid of like the floodgate. So you can target one face-up spell or trap your opponent control, and then bounce it, and then special summon this from your hand or graveyard. So outside of being Earth Machine, it's also a tuner, so you can make Hulk Firebrax. You can still normal summon this. There's a lot of utility with this guy, but also the fact that it gives you that option to bounce a spell and trap if your opponent have like a floodgate or so. That helps out a lot. So that's it for the monster. For the spell, one of the best spells there is, Ancient Gear Catapult. Destroys a face-up card as long as you don't control a monster, which most of the time you're destroying your gear town or your fortress, and it summons a monster. So to make that a whole lot better, you play triple gear town, because now it is searchable by Ancient Gear Ballista, which is what the deck needed. I don't even care if terraforming is at 1. Ancient Gear Ballista searching this is a whole lot better, because Ancient Gear Ballista has an additional effect where you make your opponent's monster become 0, and then you target your spell and trap, which is this, and then you make it 0, and then you destroy this. So it's a whole lot better. On top of that, it just a little additional protection is AncientGear Fortress, which is also kind of like a Gear Town, but it only summons from your hand or graveyard. But it's still pretty good. Mainly I use it for the effect where you protect your AncientGear monsters. That part is really awesome, and they also cannot negate activations and effect of your AncientGear cards. So yeah. And it wouldn't be complete if I play a machine-based deck without triple limiter. Steals you games, and like I said, AncientGear Reactor. Your opponent cannot respond or activate monster effects, spell, and trap. So limiter removal is a safe activation when you declare an attack with an AncientGear Reactor. So you can guarantee it will go through. Foolish Burial Goods is really amazing because outside of dumping Ancient Gear Catapult, you have other targets in here, like the Metal Flows Fusion to make you draw. So I'll show you guys in a little bit. I do play Chalice. This can also be a infinite impermanence, but I don't mind playing Chalice in this build just because even if you negate the effect of a monster and it gains 400, AncientGear Ballista makes that monster attack to 0. So the gain from Chalice don't even matter. For the 2-ofs, Twin Twister, it pops your Gear Town or your AncientGear Fortress, and it also pops your opponent's spell and trap. Or you can just pop your opponent's spell and trap, just make sure your plays go through. For the 1-offs, Terraforming, search the Gear Town. Reborn, it's a really great card. Galaxy Cyclone can be dumped by Foolish Burial Goods. Overload Fusion can make that Chaos Giant. Instant Fusion can just pretty much bring you out a Earth Machine to extend and make AncientGear Ballista. And then the Metal Foes Fusion. Metal Foes Fusion can turn your Foolish Burial Goods into Upstart Goblin. So yeah, that is the main deck. For the extra deck, we do play Double Ballista because we're not playing the Extravagance version. So Double Ballista is good enough. It should be game by the time you summon the second one or even just the first one. Genius is still good. It's more like a skill drain version, unaffected by spell and trap and link monster. And then you can target 1/1 to negate an effect of a card. So Barricade Board Blocker is amazing. Barricade Board Blocker can either grab you back your Gear Town, and also at the same time, it protects your AncientGear Fortress and your Gear Town. If Barricade Board Blocker is protecting your AncientGear Fortress, and your AncientGear Fortress is protecting your AncientGear monster, they basically have to deal with this before they can deal with everything else on the board. So that makes Barricade Board Blocker great in this build. Neil Crystron, Halki Fibrax, like I said, that's about 003 into 001. You can make like other plays. This guy makes the deck be able to have like a turn 1 play as well. So and then it's partner in crime, Aurora Dawn. So once you make Halka Fibrax, you make Aurora Dawn to extend your plays. Instant fusion target is just Cybersaurus because it's an Earth Machine. That's all it really is for. Your 2 AncientGear fusion would be Howitzer and Chaos Giant. Chaos Giant's for Overlord Fusion, and then Howitzer is mainly for the AncientGear Beast. For the rank 4s, because after you search Wyvern, you can search Gearbox, so you can make a bunch of rank 4s. But I primarily use Tornado Dragon. That's all it really needs. One main thing is that Tornado Dragon can pop your Gear Town, so it's the most helpful rank 4 there will be in this version of the deck. We play Calamities because Reactor is a level 9, BS Core is a level 9, so you can easily make this if you don't end up going for OTK. And since we played the Halka Fibrax version, we play Armory Arm, Arclight. We do play Naturia Beast. I've been testing this out. I haven't really consistently summoned this, but it's nice to have that option. I may or may not replace this, but that just kind of depends on how it goes on. But definitely Arclight and Dragster. So these two are the one that I summon the most. But since we have a bunch of 001s, there's times where I can make 2 level 4 synchros. So I can equip Distort Reactor Dragon and such and like do some other cool plays. Or I can summon Wyvern and then normal summon that's about 003 and then bring out 001. And then the Wyvern and the 001 can make the Trio Beast because it's still a pretty strong card. So yeah, that's the extra deck and the main deck. If you guys have questions, feel free to let me know or suggestion. This build so far is my favorite within the Ancient Gear. I wouldn't mind if the Hogget Rex get banned because the Despot 3 and 1 still works out with bringing out Ancient Gear Ballista because there's still Earth Machine. So, but as of right now, since we have that version, I'm still gonna use the Dragster and Arclight version. So yeah, that's all for it. Peace out.